this session.
No, the next one. We pay for this. We pay for this one.
Yep. Hilarious.
They were hilarious.
Were they?
Who is addicted to TikTok?
Bobby was hilarious.
But sometimes people work on it.
Or they have to flip.
Well, don't worry.
Oh, so.
Yes.
Did you see that?
But
How is she driving there? She's in Boston. Her house must not be right
no,
there.
she
They must
said,
be south.
she said it's further away. So she was
Because she comes through town.
yeah. She took a picture of the elevator by the old car.
I know, yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. But it was hilarious. Incredibly challenging.
I guess so.
Okay.
Too many options for me.
How are you?
Voice activated.
Yeah.
Voice for just.
Oh, I know, it's still really.
Yeah, it's just like.
Oh, it's my brain is going.
Yeah.
No.
Are you seeing baby squirrels around your place? Are you seeing baby squirrels around your place? I'm seeing
Not
really
really
tiny
tiny, I haven't
ones.
had any baby scores, but I've got plenty of that.
Yeah, I know, we were talking about before, yeah, I see really small ones, and I'm like, they wouldn't have had those recently, like,
I hope not, no, I touch wood.
maybe they're
The
just
little black ones are really, my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
the found. Yeah, no, no, I don't think they could be
Yeah, they must just be small ones, I guess, because they just look really tiny to me.
there. These aren't terribly big, but they're not big, it's just they've been around forever.
It's the dollar player.
Yeah, we have a promo code today that Christine texted me,
Oh.
so let's use that. But yeah, I approached an account, it's from
Hello.
How are you? Except my lips are so dry. Everybody ready? Think so? Sure? Yoga. Okay.
Okay, so I think this is working. Okay, we are ready. We're as ready as we're gonna be. So we're gonna start, please turn all these things off. We're gonna start in a seated position. You guys can just cross your legs. Just sit nice and tall here for a moment. And let's just try to relax our shoulders. So drop your shoulders away from your ears as best as you can manage. And then let's just take our chin and just drop it towards our chest here. So try to stay as tall as you can from your sit bones up towards your shoulders. And then we're going to draw a big circle. Just pick one direction. Draw a circle with your nose all the way up and around. And then just pause at the center. Switch directions, so opposite way. Try to stay as relaxed as you can through your cheeks and your jaw here. Good. And then just bring your head back up to center. And you guys are going to take your right hand down towards the floor beside you. Left arm's coming up and over. And we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths into the left side of your body. Take one more breath. See if you can pull your arm back a little bit. Maybe even look underneath of your shoulder. And then come all the way back up. And switch sides. So left hand down, right arm up. Deep breath into your right lung or your right rib cage as you can feel it. And then try to pull your arm back just a little bit. Good. And come back to the center. So from here, we're going to take just the left foot out in front of us. And try your best, I know our hips are still pretty cold, but try your best to bring your leg quite square, so quite straight out in front of you with our big toe up. So off the bat, we're going to feel that in the outside of our leg here. And let's reach up. So pull your belly in as we come forward. Just take your hands to the ground wherever they land. And then we're just going to think of relaxing above the knee. So see if you can relax your quad muscle a little bit. Just let your upper body be heavy. Good job, guys. Take one more deep breath. And then just walk your hands towards yourself. Come all the way up nice and tall. And we're going to stay seated like this for a moment. So you guys take right hand to the front of your shin. Okay, left arm is going to come forward and we're going to follow the path of our thumb. So opening that imaginary door until we find our end range of motion. And once you get there, just sit nice and tall, lengthen through the top of your head. And then let's close that door back towards the front and come across to the opposite knee. So taking your hand to your right knee, left fingertips behind you, little half twist. So just think of the length of your spine. Imagine a string attached to the top of your head and just try to shorten that string as best as you can. And then let's unwind and come back towards the front. Oh, what's a Saturday without our little...
I know, I was wondering.
Oh my gosh. So sit nice and tall, opposite leg forward, same thing. So you guys are going to reach up and then we're going to fold forward and just stay in that fold for a moment. You didn't do that.
You did.
So you're good. You're safe. We're like a studio mascot. That's what my logo should be. Okay, come all the way back up to seated. And let's stay sitting like this. So left hand to the front of your shin. Right arm's gonna reach forward. Follow your thumb here again. So open up. You might have a different range here, so just find wherever you can get to. And then let's close that door. And we'll go across to the opposite knee. So a little half twist, left hand behind you. Sitting nice and tall. Try to stay lifting through the crown of your head as fast as you can. And then let's unwind back towards the front. Excellent. So we're gonna come onto hands and knees, table. So try to set yourself up this morning with nice spread fingers, so nice and wide. Push away from the floor, so we're getting active right off the bat here through our upper body. And we're gonna curl our toes under. So as you curl your toes, just try to walk them underneath as best as you can manage. And then we're gonna take our hips back towards our heels. Keep your hands kind of glued to the mat here. And then pull yourself forward. You might even be able to go beyond the wrist joint with your shoulders. And then moving back again. So we'll just do this, 3 or 4 times. Just work into whatever range of motion the knees, the feet, and the wrists can manage. One more time. So forward and back. Good. This time as we come forward, just stack your shoulders on top of your wrists, uncurl your toes, give your feet a little pitter patter. And then you guys can choose either lifting to our first downward dog, or you can take child's pose for a few breaths. And if you're up in downward dog and it feels like you want to pedal your knees, then go ahead and do that. Most importantly, just try to relax through your neck and your head. See if you can minimize the tension that you're holding in your forehead and in your jaw. And then just come to a nice still position, whichever one you've chosen. We're going to take one more breath, and then we're all going to meet on hands and knees. So come back to that table pose, tops of the feet to the floor, and let's just take a few cat-cows. So we're going to inhale, look forward, lift your tailbone, exhale, round your spine. So really just try to find a big exaggeration between these two movements. It's more about the transitions than it is about where you end up in each posture. We want to try to move our entire spine as independently through each vertebrae as we can. Good job. Let's just do one more here. One more of each. And when you're done, everybody's going to take child's pose. Big toes together, knees spread, nice and wide, and then sit back towards your heels. And if it feels good to keep your arms extended forward, then you can stretch your back here a little bit. Let's give our hips a chance to stretch a little. And I want you to think about really sitting back towards your heels as deeply as you can. You might even feel connection between your heels and your hamstrings. One more nice deep breath. And then let's bring our bodies forward. And we're going to lift up to downward dog. All the way up, just for a breath or two. And then let's go ahead and look forward, you guys, and we're going to step towards our thumbs. As many steps as it takes to get your feet underneath your hips here. You guys can take ragdoll for a moment, either keeping your hands hanging heavy or opposite elbows. Bend your knees if your glute muscles feel really tight this morning. And try to think about folding over the creases of your hips as best as you can. Remember your neck, so try not to look down in front of your toes. Just look back through your knees or at your knees. And then let's take fingertips down to the floor, and we're gonna slowly just curl and stack ourselves up here to the very top. Excellent. Okay, so let's take our feet a little bit apart, maybe shoulder distance or hip distance, and let's reach both arms all the way to the ceiling. Exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Halfway lift, just lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold down and come all the way back up. Deep breath in, reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Do that one more time, so inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your back and fold down. All the way to standing. Reaching nice and tall, you can touch your palms, lift up through your belly and your chest. Exhale, hands to heart center. You guys are gonna step your right foot forward, left foot will be back. We're gonna come to warrior one, so just planting that back foot and squaring your hips towards the front as best as you can. Let's reach our arms up. So we're actually gonna be thinking about moving our front foot this morning. At first here, I want you to try lift your toes up and just really spread your toes. Even if they don't move, just try to think of spreading them apart from each other. Good job, place them down. And now gently, let's rock to the ball of our foot and see if we can lift our heel. Good job. One more breath. Lower your heel, bring your hands to the center of your chest. We're gonna step forward, feet together. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, let's fold to our toes. Halfway lift, just lengthen your spine, and we'll take our hands down. You can step back to plank. First plank of the morning, you're welcome to do table instead, or you can take your knees down, whatever allows your body to feel strong. And just think of breathing. Try to find every muscle you can. So pull your belly in, squeeze with your legs. Take one more breath. Let's all take our knees down to the mat. So you're gonna point your toes and pick your feet up off of the floor. Lower down gently towards the ground here, and then inhale, cobra. So squeeze all the muscles towards your spine. Exhale down. Child's pose, up and over with our hips. And again, think of moving back towards our heels. So even if that means your head cannot go down to the floor, you certainly could stack your arms under your head or block or pillow. See if you can breathe into the middle of your back, so right between your shoulder blades. Take one more breath, and then look forward, and we're gonna draw our shoulders forward, stack them over your wrists, downward dog. Just holding in a nice steady downward dog. So try to lower your heels as best as you can, just so that you feel that really good stretch through the calf muscles, backs of your knees. And then looking forward towards our thumbs, and you can step or you can hop to the front. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold yourself down. Come up to standing. Exhale, heart center. Awesome. So left foot forward, right foot back, warrior one. Beautiful. And then reaching our arms up here and just looking for a little stillness, a little balance or stability as you can feel it. And we'll reach up with our toes, so lifting and fanning those front toes. Good. Good, place them down, and let's try to rock forward, lift your heel. Good job. Awesome, place your heel down, bring your hands to the center of your chest, keep going, so step forward, follow your breath. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold. Halfway lift, and we'll take our hands to the mat. Again, stepping back to plank. We're gonna hold for 3 or 4 breaths. Brain-body connection, you guys, so just try to use every muscle you can find. The only thing we want to leave our bodies here is our exhale. 1 more breath. You can take your knees down again if you'd like, or lower to your belly from here. Either way, try to hug your elbows in. Gently place your body down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Child's pose again. So all the way back, we're gonna do a different arm position here. So get your hips set first. And then just gently walking our hands over towards the right edge of our mat. You're gonna take your left hand on top of the right hand and just interlace your fingers. It's just a little bind. You can almost think of pressing into this left rib cage a little bit. Definitely try to breathe into that space underneath of your left arm. And then let's walk our hands back to the center. We're just gonna come forward for a moment to table and just lift one leg at a time. So maybe extend right leg back. Ooh, I got some room. Just a half bird dog. So try to keep your big toe pointed down, or see if you can square your pelvis with your mat here. Let's just draw some circles with our back ankle. Point and flex, that's exactly what I want to do. Work out all those cracks and creaks. Good job. And then let's bring our knee down. Opposite leg, extend it back. Same thing, just move your foot, point and flex, whatever feels good. Great job. Both shins to the mat. Child's pose again. So we're going to do that opposite interlace, opposite rib cage stretch here. So once we get set, we'll take our hands to the left and see if you can stack your right hand on top of that left one. And just interlace the fingers. Try to breathe into the space underneath of your right arm. One more deep breath. And then let's bring our hands back to the center. We're gonna meet in downward dog. So drawing your shoulders forward, lifting up. Just hold. Again, try to lower your heels just till you find that nice stretch in the backs of your legs. Try to lift up through your tailbone and your sit bones. Don't worry about what it looks like, just try to go on feeling. So feeling like we're in an upside down V. Looks great, you guys. Take one more breath. Okay, so now everybody's gonna look forward at your thumb. You're gonna draw your right knee forward and just step, right foot, runner's lunge. Okay, we're coming up to face the long edge of our mat, so we're spinning the left heel down. Rise yourself up here, and voila, we will face in the room the west wall. So once we get up, toes are gonna point towards the long edge, so try to keep your feet nice and parallel. You can have your feet as far apart as you'd like and your hands to your hips here. So just take a moment and fold very intentionally over these hip creases. So lengthen forward through your chest. And we'll take both hands down to the ground once we get here, or to your block. And we're gonna just try to bend one knee at a time. So maybe shift your weight to the right, and then back to center and over to the left. These knee bends can be as deep as you would like them to be. Just go on feeling. Good job. Just once more. And then come back to that straddle fold. Everybody's gonna come up high on their fingertips. And I want you to think of the length of your spine. So that might mean walking your hands forward so that they're a bit more underneath of your shoulders. We wanna feel like our chest is parallel with the ground here. We're just gonna hold here. Try to find that core connection. So pull your belly in, lengthen forward through the crown of your head, back through your tailbone. One more breath. Good job. Just let your chest relax down. You can switch and bring your hands to wherever they land and relax your head. So look back through your legs. Awesome. We're going to go back towards that right foot for you guys, sorry. So just walking and turning yourself into our runner's lunge. Step yourself back, downward dog. You could take child's pose here if you want to. If you're in downward dog with me, let's pedal our feet. Quite exaggerated, so really try to lower that back heel. Good. One more breath. Okay, nice still downward dog. Let's look forward. This time you guys are going to step opposite foot towards the front. So left foot, I believe. Spin your right heel down. You should be rising up to face the opposite edge of your mat. Most of us got there. Come all the way up to standing. Now this time, once we're up here, we're going to turn our heels in. So just create that feeling of like a pie shape through your pelvis. Okay, so the knees, the big toes, and these front points of our hips all kind of tracking that same path. So inhale, you're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, our hands are coming to heart center and bend your knees. You got it. Keep going. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees. Try to make this like a non-stop movement. We're just constantly just following our breath through these circles. At the bottom of your next one here, so once you exhale, let's hold. See if you can open your knees a little bit more. Good job. Should feel this through your inner thighs. Take one more breath, and let's fold towards our feet. You're welcome to keep the toes turned out if this feels okay up into your hamstrings. You could always turn your toes back forward if not, but it does land differently up into your hips. We're just going to take a breath. And then let's start to turn towards the left foot. Again, walking ourselves to that runner's lunge. Awesome. Step yourself back. This time, coming to downward dog just for a moment, and then gently lowering down to our knees, and we will meet in table. Tops of the feet to the floor is preferable. We're going to come down onto the left forearm, and the right arm's going to slide through. You can bring the side of your face down, or your temple. Enjoy the stretch. One more breath. And then let's come back and just switch your forearms. So take the right one down, slide your left arm through. Very good. All right, everybody, back to our forearms just for a moment, and then let's come up onto our hands. So we're going to come to bear, so that's curling our toes under, just lifting our knees slightly to hover, kind of tuck your pelvis a little bit, similar back feeling to cat pose, and then let's walk our hands towards our feet. So we're all going to end up in this little crouch at the back of our mat. You can try to straighten your legs here, maybe take ragdoll. And then we're going to stand just nice and slowly. So let's just stack our spine as we come up to standing. Awesome. So let's step the left foot forward. Right foot is going to be back. And just set yourself up like you're kind of on skis here. So You can be picky about the distance between your feet as well as width between your feet. The closer and wider, you're going to feel more balanced. So we're doing pyramid. We're going to square our hips towards this front leg. Let's reach our hands behind our back and just interlace our fingers. As you fold forward, try to lead with your heart or with your chest. Good job. And then just take your hands down either side of this front foot. Or you could always have them to your shin if you can't touch the floor. So while we're in this pose, I want you to look at your back heel, your right heel. See if you can lift your heel up and rotate so your foot is now nice and square as well. So kind of move that heel over. Some of you might already be there. But just squaring our bodies as best as we can. Keep thinking of pulling your left hip crease back. So to stand today, I want you to bend your front knee just a bit and push down into the floor. Try to walk your eyes forward. Come all the way up. Good job. Step to the front. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. Halfway lift, lengthen your back, take your hands to the mat. So you guys can pause in downward dog, or you're welcome to take a vinyasa here if you'd like to. If you're gonna take a vinyasa, just try follow your breath through. Meeting in downward dog just for a nice deep breath. And then find that core. So pull your belly in and let's gently come down to hands and knees. Toes are going to stay curled under because we're going to lift back up to bear. So tuck your hips, lift your knees just to hover. We're going the same way as we did a couple minutes ago. So back towards our feet. Ending up at the back edge of your mat. Now, this time, instead of ragdoll, let's try to have a nice deep forward fold. You could maybe reach for your ankles, or you could slide your hands underneath of your feet. You guys pick what feels good here, but think of straightening or lifting up through the backs of your legs as best as you can. The hamstrings are warm enough to ask just for a bit more length between your knees and your glutes. Great job, and let's try have a nice strong back as we stand. So bring your hands to the thighs or to your hips here. Walk your eyes forward. Come all the way up to the top. Awesome. Opposite foot forward, so right foot forward. We're gonna do our pyramid stretch, so just try to square yourself up as you can. So hands behind the back, we can do that again. If anybody can reverse prayer, that's a good one as well. But most importantly, it's just to get us to lead with our chest, and it helps us just to keep a nice long spine. And then let's just release our hands, take them down as you can here. Pyramid. You can do that same thing with your back heel now that we're in position. You might be able to lift and just kind of square that left leg with the front. And just continue pulling this right hip crease back as you can. I know it's a deep stretch. Everybody's going to bend your front knee and then really push into the ground. Push all the way down to come up to standing. Good job. Step forward. So we're going to just stay standing here for a moment. You guys can have a comfortable distance between your feet just so your balance feels good. Be very intentional about setting up the bottoms of your feet though, like we tried to do. So lifting and spreading your toes. Okay, so as we reach up, let's grab a hold of the right wrist and just kind of lift up and over towards the left. Once you get here, see if you can relax your trap muscles a little bit. So the tops of your shoulders. Good job, come back. Just switch up and over, opposite. Looks good, guys. Come back up and just relax your hands down. Give your shoulders a little shake. Okay, let's bring our hands to our hips here. We're gonna stand on the left foot. We're coming into tree pose this morning. So you can bring your foot to where your tippy toe touches, or you can bring your foot up as much as you'd like to. Just try not to press it into your knee joint. Okay, so I like hands to the hips just as we set up because you want to try to level this right hip as best as you can. You can take your arms wherever you'd like. Find your focus point. Take one deep breath. Let's draw our knee forward. So squeeze with that inner thigh. Just extend towards the front here. And then step down. Good job. Give it a little shake out. Try the opposite side. So standing on your right foot. Bring your left foot. Wherever you'd like to. Calmness, not stillness, remember, in our balance. So if you feel all those vibrations that we tend to through our leg, just try to ride it out, see if you can lengthen nice and tall. And then same thing here, so draw your knee forward. Extend through the bottom of your foot. Good job, step out of it. Awesome, give your legs a little shake. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna slowly make our way back down to our mat. Let's take our feet mat width, hands to the tops of our thighs, and you're just gonna think about kind of chain or snaking your spine as we come into this fold. Just allow your hands to sort of paint along your legs, just so that we slow down the motion just slightly. Once you get down here, take your hands wherever they feel comfortable. And then everybody's just gonna gently bend their knees, and let's step back to plank pose one more time. You could also come to table. We're gonna do side plank this morning. So everybody's gonna drop their right shin to the mat. Okay, right hand's gonna stay planted, and we're gonna open to the left. So reach that left arm up. Try to think about your arms first. So stack your wrist, your shoulder on top of the right wrist and the right shoulder. If you want to lift that back foot up, you can. Good job, guys. Keep reaching up actively through your hand. And then we're going to come back to plank. So gently roll yourself forward. Pause. And then we'll do the opposite side. So take your left shin down. Left hand will stay planted. Open to that right edge. You can lift that back leg if you'd like to. Squeezing with your hip. Good. And then place yourself back to our last plank. One steady, strong breath here. And then meeting on our shins. Awesome. Let's come to a seated position. We're going to take both legs out in front of us. Once you feel like you're set up here, let's reach up towards the ceiling. Just a forward fold towards our feet or wherever your hands land. And just let your head relax, your neck relax. Good job. And then just gently allow yourself to roll up. So stack your back. Come all the way up towards the top. This morning, we're gonna keep the left leg extended out and we're gonna get a hold of our right foot. Lots of options in this one, as I'm sure you guys in here know anyway. So left hand to the foot, right hand outside, and you can do this, or you can place it all the way into your elbow crease. Wrap around. Kind of whatever the knee joint will let you do. But just fidget as you'd like to. We always tend to find that little tender spot or sweet spot in the glute. Good job. So release your right arm first. Just grab a hold of your foot here and we'll just make sure we don't slingshot it forward. Give your legs a little shake and we'll do the opposite one. Then we get to lay down. Woohoo! So bringing right hand to your foot and or elbow crease. Ugh. It almost feels like two different legs, doesn't it? Me too today. Good work. Okay, same thing here. Just be intentional about our exit. Take your hands back for a moment and just give your legs a little windshield wiper. So we are going to lay down. Let you go ahead and lay down. I'll get you back, feeling as comfortable as you can. And we are going to just extend our legs. Come to corpse pose. Just try to take a few breaths here. We want to let our hips relax enough that our legs, our toes are kind of falling open. And then let's bring our arms into a cactus position. And just take a couple nice breaths into the center of your chest. So sort of wherever the breath or the inhale lands is a good place to exaggerate or focus on. Sometimes we feel it down lower towards the diaphragm or the belly. Others will feel it right between your collarbones. So just kind of breathe into that space. It's like we're pressing our heart towards the ceiling as we inhale. See if you can feel that little gentle separation in the front side of your rib cage. Awesome. Okay, so we're just going to start to bring our right foot in. You can draw your shin towards your chest, so interlacing just wherever along that shin bone feels comfortable here. Just try to be as relaxed and heavy as you can be right now through your upper body. And then we're going to extend the right arm out beside us and just hold your shin with your left hand. So rather than coming into supine twist, let's draw our knee towards the left collarbone or the left shoulder. Your right hip will roll up as much as you need it to. And then move your leg, move your knee a bit until you find that good stretch. It should be in the outside of your hip, maybe in your glute or into your low back if you feel a little tight there today. Good job. And then come back to the middle. You guys are going to choose. So you're either going to take right hand to the shin and just bend your elbow, let your knee drop open, or you could do half happy baby here. So you could get a hold of that pinky edge and bring your foot to stack up. Good job. If you're in half happy baby, just bend your knee. Everybody's gonna let go of this right leg and come into a good morning stretch. So just reaching opposite directions here. Get as long as you can. Try to imagine like you're being pulled in opposite directions. And then let's draw the left shin in towards our chest. So same thing here, we'll just take our time. Staying square for a moment, just trying to relax through our arms. And then we're going to release the left hand out beside us. Use your right hand to draw your knee across your body here to find that hip stretch. So towards your right shoulder, your right collarbone. And now as we come back to center, you're going to pick same options on this other side. So either allow your knee to drop open or half happy baby is great as well. Something that gets your knee moving to that outside. So let's just allow our heel to release. Come into one more good morning stretch. Try not to hold your breath here. See if you can point your toes, really open the tops of your ankles. And then we're going to draw both knees in towards our chest this time. You can take a moment just to fidget around. Just try to take your brain, take your focus to where your low back is touching your mat. Our hands, our sense of touch through our hands to our knees always is kind of where we want to go. But just try to really focus on how it feels to rock that back ridge of your pelvis along the ground. And from here, we're going to just let go and take our feet flat to the ground. So we're going to lift up into a bridge position. Lots of options here. You can pick which one feels best for you. Just see if you can touch the backs of your heels. You can either press your hands into the floor, bend your elbows, or interlace under your back. Either way, just go ahead and lift yourself up. Try to avoid letting your knees migrate open this morning. So really try to stay strong through your hips, through your inner thighs. Imagine you're lifting your belly towards the ceiling here, or your chest towards your chin. That's another good one that helps us just find a tiny bit more height. Good job. Take one more breath. And then our goal here is to roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. So try to lower yourself here as slow and controlled as you can until your entire back is once again connected to the ground. And we will now come into a reclined butterfly. So just let your feet come together, knees relax open. You guys can bring your hands either to the belly or to cactus. Just try to focus on taking a few deep breaths into the front side of our body. Great job. So before we come out of our butterfly position, just really try to connect with the belly. So think of drawing your tummy in and then squeezing your knees towards each other. Okay, so we're going to take our arms and just tee them out from our shoulders, a little bit of core work, and then we're going to relax by coming into a twist. So we're gonna lift our feet up to that 90-degree angle. So think about stacking your knees on top of your hips. We're gonna go towards the right to begin with, and maybe go to like 2 o'clock. Some of you might be able to go towards 3 o'clock and just hold here. So stabilize through your core. It's mostly this left side of our ab wall that's doing the work for us. Just trying to concentrate on that. Good job. Gently bring your knees back to center. Now, as we go to the right again, you're just going to gently and slowly lower all the way into a twist. So try to stabilize the entire way down so that we don't just drop our legs. If you can keep your shoulders both connected to the ground, that's a good goal. Just breathe here for a couple of moments. And then let's try to find that belly connection again. So pull your belly in. See if you can bring your knees all the way back to the center. Awesome. Just draw your knees to your chest, or you can extend your legs out, whatever you want to do just to kind of reset here. Before we do that, same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so lifting your feet, 90-degree angle. Try to press your low back into the ground. So remember, that's always a good indicator that our core is connected, and we're going towards 9 o'clock. But wherever you can comfortably pause. And then in your mind, just try to connect with this right side of your torso. It's our right side ab wall. Super important, not just for our core, but for our low back. So we're stabilizing all the way around towards our spine here. It's like a corset. It's like the right side of our corset. And then bring yourself back to center. Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the left. Again, and gently, slowly, controlled, descending into this twist. Breathing here. Try to relax your face. And then let's reconnect with that core as best as we can. So just gently pull your belly in and draw your knees back to center. Awesome. Relax from this. Okay, so we just got one more stretch, and then we're going to do an inversion and then shavasana. So we're going to come into happy baby this morning. So knees kind of towards your shoulders, and then reach. I like to reach for the pinky edge of my feet, but if that's too tight in your hips, you can yogi grip your big toes. That's not wrong. But just work at bringing your heels to stack on top of your knees. So it feels like we're in a, or I guess our legs are set up in the same position as they would be in a squat. And then in your body, just notice how high you've lifted up through your low spine. We want as much of that low back to stay grounded as we can. That takes time. But the intention should be to try to keep that sacrum connected to the floor. Great job, guys. Okay, so let your heels just buckle towards each other. Take your feet flat for a moment. Make sure your back feels nice and comfortable. And then you guys can choose. We can either do jellyfish, so hands and feet up, or an opportunity to take a shoulder stand if that's in your practice. So always like to finish getting our legs higher than our heart. So good for our drainage of that lymph. Brings everything back to help detox our bodies. Awesome work. So you can stay in your inversion as long as you want to. But over the next few moments, we will all kind of make our way into Shavasana. And we're going to take 3 minutes this morning just to let our bodies kind of absorb all that good work we just put into it. So when you do come to your final resting position, I want you just to try to let go of any muscles that you still feel are kind of holding some energy in them. The hips, the glutes, they're always big culprits. And just try to relax everything you can here. Okay, good. Okay, guys, so when you're ready, you're just going to kind of wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take your time making your way out of this. So something to kind of release your low back, roll to your side, windshield wiper, whatever. Everyone always has their own little routine. And then we're going to meet one last time in a seated position when you're ready. So we didn't really sit like this much today. So you can cross your legs if you want to, bottoms of the feet together, half lotus, stack your ankles, and then just be pretty intentional about where the position of our pelvis is. So just try to kind of wiggle about until you feel like you're sitting up nice and tall through your lower body. So let's just take a gentle twist here. We're going to take left hand across to the right knee, just for a breath. So just try to lengthen really nice and tall, keeping our sit bones, of course, totally stabilized. And then just sweep your hands around to the other side and do the same thing. So nice and grounded through our lower body, relax through our upper body, and then come back to the center. Good job, guys. Okay, so I want you just to close your eyes, relax your shoulders, just try to connect one last time here to close our class with the upward flow of energy through our body. So at first, just simply stacking yourself up to the best of your ability, where you feel like your belly is on top of your hips, Chest on top of the belly, head and shoulders directly on top of that space. And then we're going to turn our attention to our spine this morning. And we're going to think about that zipper. So let's imagine that zipper. It's going to start at your tailbone, and just in your own pace, in your own mind, you're going to try and imagine that zipper closing all the way up your spine. So up and over each curve of your back, all the way up through your shoulders, the back of your neck, and the back of your head as well. Just keep imagining that zipper until it stops at the crown of your head. And then just reflect on how the energy in your body feels for a second. So we always tend to draw our awareness or draw our muscles towards our spine as well as up. So exactly like that zipper closes and exactly like that zipper travels upwards. Most importantly, remember this feeling. We're going to take one more deep breath in and then ignore it all. So just let your body surrender to gravity, forward and down in any way that feels natural this morning. We'll stay here for a few breaths because we inevitably get heavier and heavier as we're here. So really let your head go. Your cheeks should feel super heavy, your belly. And then our last task is to think about where that tailbone is, and then just nice and gently start to bring your body back up here, just like we stack our spine to stand. Try to stack yourself all the way back up until you find yourself in Saturday morning's perfect posture. And we're going to close our morning class. So bring your hands to heart center, please. We'll take our thumbs to forehead, kind thoughts, to mouth, kind words, and to chest, most importantly, kind hearts. Namaste. Have a lovely weekend. A lovely Saturday. Good job.
Good start to it.
Always a good start to it, isn't it?
Goodbye to whoever was on here. I can't tell who it is.